Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, we didn't get quite the rain that we were hoping to get today. I mean, we got some. Early this morning, some rain came in and it definitely added a bit of moisture to the ground, but not quite what we were hoping. But tomorrow, keeping our fingers crossed, it looks like maybe a better day. Today was supposed to be the big day for rain, but maybe it's tomorrow. I don't know. We could certainly use it. I mean, it's not extremely terrible. I mean, the creek's still moving. You can see that. And things are, for the most part, green. They've been a little wilty. So the rain, it did kind of perk up a lot of the weeds and the, native plants and stuff. And it knocked the dust down off the road. So there's a lot of good there. Did you see gold today? Gold closed at a record high. Now, not an all-time record high for the highest price it's ever been. That was a couple weeks ago, but it was the highest closing of gold today. It's a gold market. And for those of you that have had the money, I mean, gold's always been a little high, at least it has been for many years now. It's been difficult for people to transfer their fiat currency into gold because it takes so much fiat currency. Well, for those of you that did, things are looking pretty good for you right now. And it's also, I think, a sign of things that are coming. Also, oil went up, broke $80 a barrel, came down just a hair, but it's still moving. I would say that has a lot to do with what's going on in the Middle East and probably in Eastern Europe, which is still a hot topic. Depending on who you listen to, an attack on Israel could happen tonight or tomorrow night. Everything was looking like it was happening tonight. Iran had posted things on their Twitter saying that they were ready and, all these cheesy little pictures of them getting bombs ready. Israel is, reacting by, telling everyone to go to their bunkers, saying that they may, in fact, do a preemptive strike against against Iran, moments before if they find any kind of confirmation that it's happening. The supreme leader of Iran apparently has been whisked away into a bunker, but U.S. intelligence is saying that they don't think it's going to happen tonight. They think it may be more like tomorrow. Who knows? It just depends on what time of the day you get online and look at the news. And in one sense, it's saying that, well, they're going to, just overwhelm Israel's defense systems, overwhelm U.S. defense systems of bases in Iraq, and hit them all at once with missiles from Iran and Syria and Iraq and Lebanon and maybe Yemen. And then, a little bit later you get on and there's some official saying that, well, we think it won't be too much bigger than what happened back in April, which was really a nothing thing. So who knows? But things are certainly heating up. There was an earthquake just earlier today, centered around Lebanon. Northern Israel felt it. Syria felt it. Turkey felt it. Was this just a natural phenomenon or is this something else? I don't know. I mean, the earthquake things are kind of weird. And I certainly believe that there's definite technology that they can, weaponize earthquakes. There's been earthquakes today in California, fairly decent size. And there's been some pretty decent sized earthquakes in California recently and Japan. So, are we on the verge of seeing a major earthquake somewhere in the world soon? That's possible. Russia and Ukraine is starting to look like it's going to get to be a hotbed here real soon. Putin spoke and he said that basically all peace negotiations are now off the table. That they will not consider any kind of ceasefire, peace negotiations with Ukraine. That the only way that this ends is Ukraine's unconditional surrender. I doubt that that's going to happen. So that means it's going to last for a while and it's going to escalate. In fact, Lindsey Graham and Blumenthal, you know who they are, they're senators. They are proposing a bill that would basically make the United States come to Ukraine's aid and to continue offering them support, which would make it difficult for any future president to, cut back on the aid. They'd have to, get a new bill passed through Congress is basically what they're trying to do. There are rumors, and I want to emphasize that it's just rumors online, that some of the Ukrainian troops that were caught in Russia, that invaded Russia, were from other countries. They were wearing Ukrainian uniforms, but they were from NATO countries. That's not a big surprise to me, although I've not seen anything confirming that. So it could just all be rumors and it could be fake news, but it's not a big surprise. We know for a fact that NATO troops, including the United States, have been embedded in Ukrainian troops wearing Ukrainian uniforms at times as advisors. And sometimes they, take a sabbatical from the U.S. Army or from the French Army, from the, German Army, and they go fight for Ukraine for a while, just because that's what they want to do on their vacation, right? What it does mean, if there's any truth to it whatsoever, it just adds more fuel to the fire. It's going to escalate things even worse. And I'm actually kind of surprised that Russia hasn't declared full-scale war against Ukraine yet. That may be coming soon. And Russia says that there's going to be a major retaliation against Ukraine and NATO because of what's happening. You have to realize, again, I want to emphasize this, that for the first time in over 70 years, Russia has been invaded, and they actually attacked Moscow. Not directly with troops, but with some rockets and drones. This is a huge, huge deal, folks. It doesn't matter whose side you think you're on or whatever, or no side at all. It's a big deal. And the very real possibility that Russia will take the gloves off and lash out very severely is a possibility. They were also trying to apparently attack the Russian nuclear power plant. So there's a lot of things going on. And again, these are rumors, although there's some grainy video and pictures that indicate that this is true. There's a lot of people saying that when Ukraine went into and has been in parts of Russia, that it was very similar to Hamas going into Israel on October 7th, that there were lots of civilian casualties, cars riddled with bullets, things like that. If there is truth to that, that's just going to energize Russia, Putin, and the Russian people even more to, attack not just Ukraine, but NATO. So are we on the verge of a war, bigger scale war? I know I've been saying that for a while, but it's because it's been building for a while, folks. And looking at the state of American affairs and really the level of debt in the West and the level of just collapsing in the West, the possibility, the likelihood that the West is pushing this, trying to cause a major wide-scale war, is very real. I mean, I think it would help them. It would help the debt. They could, we got to wipe away our debt. It help the election. We can't have an election because we're having war and we're having terrorist attacks and all this kind of stuff. So we have to be ready for this kind of stuff. You need to be thinking along the line of what could happen here in the United States that would cause infrastructure attacks. Of course, terrorist attacks could do that. And how are you going to get ready for that? What kind of food that you need to stock up on, medical supplies you need to be having put away. You need to have ways to defend yourself, because look at what's going on in London right now and other parts of the United Kingdom. Could that kind of stuff start happening here in the United States? Yeah, it's very, very possible. We've already seen a drastic increase in violence in several major cities in the United States because of illegals pouring into this country, and just because of, crazy people, drugs, crime, all that kind of stuff is just on the rise. So we need to be getting ready for that. You need to be focusing on food storage, immediate food, and then longer term food, at least 6 months to a year. Water storage. I am going to leave a link in the description below for a product that my wife and I are kind of switching to for our water supply. It's called Sagan Life. It's a water filtration system that you can hook up to the big, 55-gallon food-grade drums, barrels, You put your water in there. It's very, very economical. It's under $100. Filters out 99.99999% of viruses and bacteria, and a decent percentage amount of heavy metals and chemicals and stuff. So if you're interested in something like that, you don't have the $300-400 to spend on a big tabletop, Berkey style water filtration. This one right here, you can buy those water barrels for $10, $15, $20 on, Facebook Marketplace or different places like that. And then for, around 70 or 80 bucks, you can get this water filtration. It's hand pump or electric pump. And it does a good job so that you can store up large amounts of water and have an easy way to pump that water out and to filter it. They also have a few other products, but I'll leave a link in the description below. Like I said, the price is at a place that most everyone can kind of afford, at least the entry-level stuff. And I'm telling you, you need to do that, because a tax on like water and sewage is an electric, which would in turn create problems in water and sewage, is very, very likely. In fact, they've already happened. It wasn't just a couple of years ago, a cyber attack on a water treatment plant. I believe it was in Pennsylvania or Ohio. That kind of stuff could happen widespread. That's what we need to be preparing for. Yes, the economy is going to probably take a hit. If you're in the stock market, it's going to go crazy during that time. Oil is going to skyrocket, very possibly. You may be paying higher prices. So if you stockpile gasoline, better make sure that stuff's topped off. The election's going to get crazy. It already is. It's nuts. I think we've gotten so used to all the craziness that so many people haven't really honed in on the fact that already this presidential election is just off the charts, twilight zone. And it's going to get worse. It's absolutely going to get worse because, they can't have things happen normally. It has to be this crazy psyop. They have to come up with some reason to either not have the election or to take the election away. There's all these kinds of things happening. So you folks need to be praying. I need to be praying more. We all need to be praying more. We need to pray for discernment, for direction, for wisdom, for calmness in our lives, and for, being able to figure out what's the most important things that we need to be working on. And a few of the very simple things that I just mentioned are certainly in that neighborhood. This is all happening and probably going to be happening into the fall and the winter months. So start thinking about that too. Clothing, heat, or your vehicles. Are they going to be able to, do they have decent tires and tune-ups and belts and batteries and stuff that tend to, be more abused during the wintertime? And if things are bad during the wintertime and you're not able to get those, it could be just a bad situation. We all know what it's like to go through crazy supply chain issues and not being able to get the stuff that we need from just a few years ago. It certainly could be that and even worse. So don't just find yourself kind of in a, it may not be that bad. It's taken a while for this to happen. Maybe I can sit back, take a break, just I'll wait a little bit longer until things start to really heat up and then I'll get ready. Don't do that. Get ready now, because these things are happening, and I don't see how they can't go from where they're at now to getting worse. And so keep working at it, keep focusing, keep finding the motivation that you need. That's reason why I really get on here every day, is just trying to push you and motivate you. Because we all need that at times. I need that, and I know that you need that. And so that's part of what we're doing here as a community, not just physical, but online, is to try to help encourage each other, push each other, because we can overcome this. We can endure to the end. We just have to be spiritually, physically, and mentally ready for that. It's time to get your houses in order, folks. Doing all those things, spiritual, mental, and physical preparedness. Get ready, because it's not coming at us. It's at us right now. It's happening. And we have to be ready for that. Thank you all for watching. Catch you in the next video.